Guys, it's Andrew over BHA here, bringing you a new video. So the great folks over at Switchbot have sent me over one of their latest products, the Switchbot Curtain 3. Now we're going to be specifically looking at the one that goes across the rod. There's two versions, the rod version or a track version. So depending on which type of curtains you may have, you'll definitely want to keep that in mind. This thing is pretty awesome. It works with all kinds of stuff, including Matter, HomeKit, Alexa, Google, obviously their native Switchbot app. So there's tons of different ways to control this. So you're definitely want to check this out if you're looking for something to help automate your curtains in your house. So without further ado, let's get started. All right, guys, so you can pick this thing up straight from Switchbot for about 90 bucks. You can also pick it up on their Amazon storefront, as you can see here, again, for about 90 bucks. Now, there's a few things you might want to keep in mind. One, if you're looking to integrate this with Matter, then you're going to want to get the Switchbot Hub 2. So you can pick up the Switchbot Hub 2 for about 60 bucks. Another thing to keep in mind is if you're looking to never have to charge your Switchbot curtain, you're going to want to get the solar panel module, which just plugs into the bottom of that Switchbot 3, and it runs for about 26 bucks. Again, you can pick that up on Amazon's website or Switchbot's website directly. I'm sure you've seen tons of other videos regarding the new Switchbot curtain, so I'm actually excited to try this out and see how well it works. So let's get started.
Okay, so we have a full set of the Switchbot curtain rod 3s here. So 2 units and 2 solar panels. Now I'll be opening up one of each to kind of show you what all you get in the box itself. As you can see, Switchbot always does a good job with the marketing on the outside of the box. They list all of the capabilities of the device, as well as the contents of the box and everything that comes inside it. So let's get this Switchbot curtain opened up here. Here on the left side, let's open this box up and see what's inside. Looks like the 2 roller arms that will attach to the main unit and allow it to sit on that curtain rod and glide across. They just kind of snap in place. Let's see, on the right side in this little box here, we got some brackets as well as magnets that will be used to kind of tell that unit when to stop. We also have a USB-C power cord. Now this is to charge the battery in the unit, so if you aren't going to be using the solar panels, you will need to use this cable and kind of keep it around to charge the units ever so often. Looks like that we got some instruction manuals and another box of brackets that we can kind of use for getting this thing set up. Last but not least, we have the brains of the unit here. So both of the rod arms that we looked at first will go on either side of this unit as it hangs down off of the curtain rod. That's all that comes in this box. So let's take a look at the solar panel box here and see what we get there. As you can see, same type of marketing on the outside of the box. If we open this up here, we got instructions right here on top. And then other than that, we just have the solar panel itself. And it has this little arm with a USB-C connector on the end of it that will kind of plug into the bottom of the unit. Kind of hangs down just facing the window so that it will receive that sunlight. That's everything that comes in both of these boxes. Let's go ahead and move on to the next step, and we'll get the curtain tree added into the Switchbot app on my phone. Alright, so before we install the device, we need to get it added into the Switchbot app. So now that should be pretty simple. In fact, if you are in the app here and you hit that plus in the top corner, all you really need to do is you push that button on the unit itself and it should show up there as a nearby device. And there it is. Let's hit curtain. All right, so it wants me to put the curtain in pairing mode by holding down the button for 2 seconds. The light should start blinking, and then that's kind of how you know it's in pairing mode. It'll take it a few seconds to complete that connection, and boom, there it is. Now we have to choose what type of curtains we have, whether it's a single curtain that just goes from one side to the other, or it's 2 curtains that open in the middle. Now I have the 2 curtains that are going to open in the middle, so that's what we'll choose here. Since we did choose that one, it's letting you know that you will need 2 of these Switchbot curtain 3s to work properly. So we have to pair the second unit as well. So we'll do the same thing. We'll hold that button down, give it a few seconds to complete that connection. And now they are both connected, and it's going to kind of group them together. So now that we have the curtain group, we can give it a name and a room. So I have mine on my kitchen window. So we're going to call it kitchen window here, and we can just make the room be kitchen as well. But at this point, we have it connected into the Switchbot app. So let's move on to the next step and we'll get everything installed.
Okay, so I'm going to be installing the Switchbot Curtain 3 here in my kitchen. My wife just put new curtains up, and so she went with like a pink sheer curtain and then ended up putting a blackout curtain behind it. Not really sure the thought process on that, but I don't ask questions. The downside is that she bought the wrong size of the blackout curtain, so they were actually smaller than the window, and that's kind of why you can see through the middle there. Nonetheless, it should work fine for this video. The installation is actually really simple. We have 2 of these Switchbot curtain 3s. Since the curtain's open in the middle, you have to have one for each side. You can see the little arm on both sides there, and it just kind of clips in place. So we want to put that on the inside of the curtain with the Switchbot logo facing away from the window. Just kind of extends that arm out around the curtain rod and just kind of hangs there. Now you're supposed to put the magnets right in the middle where the curtains will stop and be closed. I had a little issue with my particular window curtain rod setup. So my curtain rod is so long that it actually has an extension in the middle, and the Switchbot curtain had a little bit of issue getting over that lip from the one rod through the extension. So basically what I ended up doing, at least for this video, is I put the magnets just before that extension hits. That way the curtains will not have to try to make it over that lip and get stuck or anything like that. Fortunately, this means that the curtains will not close all the way. They'll kind of stop before it gets there, but again, for the sake of this video, it should work fine, and I'm going to have to look at some kind of transition or something to allow that curtain rod 3 to actually make it over that lip. Just something to keep in mind if you're using curtain rods with an extension, just to make sure that that thing will get over that lip there. But that's pretty much it for installation. At this point, once we have it all installed, you're going to kind of go through the calibration of the Switchbot 3 in the app. Then you're ready to go. So let's go ahead and move on to the next step, and I'll go over the various config options available in the app.
Here's the main screen for the curtains here in the app. So you can see the current status of the curtains there at the top. They show to be fully closed. And it also has both units battery life. And they both look pretty good there, so that's good, almost full. If we hit open down here at the bottom, they should start opening up, and it takes a few seconds, but you can see them updating there as they kind of move along that curtain rod. It shows the current percentage being open, as how far along they are. But if we go into settings up in the top corner, right there at the top, you can change the name of the device if you want, or even change the room they are associated with. Now, under advanced settings, the only option there is touch and go. I'm not sure why that's the only option, but maybe in the future they're going to have some additional advanced settings there. But either way, so if your curtains are closed and you give them a little tug, it will start to open. And the same goes for the other direction. If they're open and you give them a little tug, they'll start to close. So that's a pretty neat little feature. Next up is calibration. And it's grayed out for me because I'm not within Bluetooth range as far as while I'm recording this video. The same goes for pairing a remote. So you can buy a Switchbot remote and configure it and be able to open and close it with the push of a button on that remote. Now, it also has the NFC option. If you're using Switchbot's NFC tags, you can kind of configure those here, and you'll notice that that's an available option on a lot of Switchbot devices, so it's pretty cool. Cloud services. Now, this will require a hub. The Hub 2 is definitely the way to go. This opens up your ability to be able to use Alexa, Google Home, and even HomeKit. And of course, with the Hub 2, you then have the ability to start using Matter as well. So that's a pretty awesome little feature there. Other than that, let's see, you can view the logs if you want, or even the installation and user guides. You do have the ability to check firmware and battery life here. So if we open that up, you can see that my battery life has stayed pretty consistent with a charge of about 90% on those solar panels. And it looks like I'm still current on the firmware, so we're good there. But if you go back out of the settings to the main screen, we can scroll up from the bottom, and there are a few more options that we haven't actually gone over yet. So sync control. This is where if you turn off sync control, then you can open and close the curtains individually. So right now, because I have one window with two Switchbot curtain 3s, we have them in a group. And so anytime you open one side, it's going to open both sides at the same time. But disabling sync control will allow you to do them individually. You can also set a schedule here, which is kind of a neat feature because if you're using the scheduling, you have the ability to enable quiet drift mode, which is crazy quiet. In fact, if you're not paying attention and you open those curtains with the schedule, you will not hear it opening, I can guarantee you. Under auto charging, this will let you schedule the curtains to move to a certain spot to get the best sunlight for charging each day. It's another cool feature, and if you take a look at the light sensor, you can actually see what times of the day your solar panels are getting the most light. You kind of use that in conjunction with the auto charging to make sure that you are getting a good charge on those devices. But that's pretty much it for what you can do from within the app. Let's move on to the last step, and I will give you my final thoughts. All right, so the Switchbot Curtain 3. I have to admit, this thing is pretty cool. I mean, with the ease of installation and how easy it is to set up, how quick it is to set up in the app, it's really not a bad deal at all. If you have one curtain that goes across your window, then you just need the one unit, and that will cost you about $90.
Obviously, if your curtain's open in the middle, then you will need 2 units to make that work. So, of course, the cost goes up from there. Having the ability to hook up solar panels for endless power, which is only an additional 26 bucks per unit, not a bad deal either. The cool thing is there's so many different ways to control it, especially if you are using the new SwitchBot Hub 2. And I'll have links to all the products I'm talking about in the description below. So, of course, you have the touch and go feature, which just allows you to kind of tug on it and the curtains will open up. And then, of course, you can control it straight from the SwitchBot app. But if you're utilizing the Hub 2, like we just talked about, then you can take advantage of Alexa or Google Home to control your curtains. So that's also a pretty cool feature. Another cool thing about it is when scheduling the curtains to open or close, you can take advantage of the quiet drift mode, which is a crazy quiet. So if you're looking for something to automate your curtains, you can't go wrong with the new SwitchBot Curtain 3. If for some reason you aren't interested in the Curtain 3, head over to SwitchBot's website and see what else they have to offer. I guarantee you can find something that you do like.
As always, I want to thank everybody for donating to my Buy Me a Coffee link. Every little bit helps. If you haven't had a chance, head over to my spring merchandise page and check out all of the Burns home automation merchandise. If you're looking for the latest smart home gear, you're going to want to check out Smoking. I'll have a link in the description below to their website. You can head over there and see what deals they currently have running. If you're looking for the latest smart shades, you're going to want to check out Smartwings. I'll have a link in the description below to their website as well. Head over there and see what deals they currently have running. If you're interested in buying and selling stock or maybe cryptocurrency, you're going to want to check out Robinhood. I'll have a link in the description below. If you sign up with that link, you and I both will get a free share of stock. It's a win-win for both of us. If you liked the video, please subscribe to my channel. If you have any questions or comments, hit me up in the comments below. As always, if there are any videos out there that you would like to see that I don't already have out there, let me know in the comments as well, and I'll see if I can't get something put together for you guys. Otherwise, I'll see you guys around.